Good evening, everyone. This is Eric. Glad you could make it on this near holiday time. It takes everybody's probably fairly busy, so glad you took time out tonight. And tonight will be heavy on the practice. Um, I'm going to do our traditional body scan, mindfulness, awareness of awareness practice, and then the second half of it will be focused on loving kindness practice, which is kind of a continuation of our Wisdom of the Heart chapter. We dealt with fear last time around, and this time we're going to be kind of the antidote to fear is cultivating gratitude and love. So we'll focus on loving kindness, and I will include the guiding words that I'll be using tonight. We'll include that in our follow-up email. So if you'd like to try this practice on your own, this is a practice that does take time. Uh, some people actually have resistance to it at first because we begin with loving kindness towards ourselves. And for some people that can be challenging since we can often be quite judgmental of ourselves. So I'll give you some guidance on that once we get into it. But again, it's something that does take a bit of practice, but it can be very rewarding and very transformative in how you see yourself as well as those you love, as well as people you have difficulty with, giving loving kindness to all beings. So I thought I'd begin with a reading by Donna Faulds. This is called Whatever Doesn't Serve You. What weight can you put down right now? Willingly relinquishing the pointed quills of guilt or judgment? What burden of the heart can lift? What dark corner can be lit? The candle flickering at first, then burning bright. With the next breath, let it go. The old story you've told yourself a million times. Whatever doesn't serve you in this path of truth, leave it behind. Offer this one gift, the simple sacrifice that in the giving sets you free to fully live. Offer this one gift, the simple sacrifice that in the giving sets you free to fully live. Whatever doesn't serve you by Donna Faulds. So if you want to just settle in for our practice tonight and just a little guidance, it'd be helpful to sit up somewhat upright. You can be, if you're in a chair, leaning back is fine, but you do have that risk of taking a nap. And if you are getting sleepy, you might want to sit up a little more directly. You might be lying down too, which is fine as well. If you're sitting up, back is somewhat straight, hands can be in the lap or on the legs. The chin is tipped down slightly, so the vertebrae are nice and arched forward a bit, so they're not compressed. The jaw can be slightly open, so we're not clenching the teeth. The eyes can be partially closed or fully closed, whatever works for you. And we'll begin by just checking in now with motivation. What is the purpose tonight and for your practice in general? What motivates you to come to these practices and to continue with your contemplative practice? It's tuning into that motivation. And then goals. Decide what you hope to work on in this session. Doesn't have to be anything big. Just keep it simple, small. Maybe it's just not getting annoyed at yourself when the mind wanders, which is natural and normal. Maybe it's to stay alert and notice those moments if we're getting agitated to lighten up, if we're getting sleepy to intensify a little bit. and just find enjoyment in whatever transpires in this practice. So kind of letting go of any expectation for a certain quality of being in this practice. There's never a bad practice if we're actually coming to do the work. We're learning about the mind and the body, and every time we sit. And finally, just resolving to practice diligently for the entire session, to really notice if the mind begins to wander, to check that quickly, have that commitment to be with the practice. And lastly, just making a quick inventory of any things in your life right now that might be a distraction to you. And just acknowledge those thoughts and emotions, and just resolving to set them aside for right now. You'll get to them later. And you just plant the seed of intention to not let these distractions dominate your attention. Again, just checking your posture. Feet are flat on the floor. Back is relatively straight. Shoulders are back perhaps a little bit. Chest is open so you can breathe freely and fully. And just let's begin by being aware of the body with the breath, is feeling the breath in the upper body as we inhale and exhale deeply 4 or 5 times, relaxing on each exhale. Softening and relaxing on each exhale. One final breath. Now just bringing the attention again in the body, and be a little different this week. We'll start at the top of the head. So just feeling, noticing sensations on the scalp and the forehead, the brow, the back of the head, the ears, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, chin. Sensing in the whole head, the scalp, the face, the jaw, the ears, and continuing noticing the back of the neck, sides of the neck, the front of the neck, the throat. Just being with sensations in the whole head right now. And just inviting any tension in the facial muscles, the jaw, the throat, soften, soothe, and rest. Again, dropping attention down through the neck, through the shoulders. Feeling into the shoulders and the back. Dropping down through the shoulder blades, the spinal column, the ribs, and the lower back. And then coming back up into the shoulders, dropping down the left arm. And then bringing attention into the sensations of the left hand. Inviting that whole left arm and hand to soften, soothe, and rest. Bring the attention back up into the left shoulder, dropping over into the right shoulder, down the right arm. Down, down, down into the hand, the right hand, the palm, finger, fingertips. Inviting that whole right arm and hand to soften, soothe, and rest. Back up through the right arm into the shoulders, dropping down now, noticing the front of the body, the shoulders, the chest, the ribs, the abdomen. Some sensations of the breath as the belly and the chest rise and fall. Just resting in moment by moment experience of the body. Just inviting the abdomen to really soften and relax, letting go of any contraction there in the abdominal muscles. And bring the attention down into the hips, down through the thighs. Sensing into the knees now. And being with sensations in the calves of the legs, shins. Shifting attention down into the ankles now. Through the heels, into the bottom of the foot, the arch, ball of the foot, the toes, the top of the foot. And just feeling ourselves grounded on the earth. And just recognizing this deep connection between this human body and this Mother Earth body made of the same elements. We breathe in the exhale of the plants, and the plants breathe in our exhale, circle of life. The rains come and replenish our groundwater and our rivers and our oceans, sustain us our thirst, and the bounty of all of the plants and animals that sustain our body, and the people who support the growth and distribution and preparation of life-nourishing food. We just give gratitude for this immense community of relationships that this body is connected to. Gratitude for this breath, for this moment of aliveness. Gratitude to all those relationships that support us and nurture us and sustain us, both human and the natural world, our pets, the changing seasons, the sunrise and the sunset. Give gratitude for the stars above and the moon. Gratitude to this vast, vast universe with its mysteries. Now just bringing the attention into the upper body as we move into some breath awareness to begin our practice. And just feeling into the abdomen and the chest and the ribs and the shoulders as they rise and fall with each breath. And just being with the experience of the breath in the upper body. No need to change the breath in any way. We're just letting the breath be natural. And we may notice some breaths are long, some are short. You might notice a difference between the length of the in-breath and the length of the out-breath. Just being very alert to the sensations of the breath and the duration, depth, intensity, how it changes and fluctuates as thoughts come and go in the mind. You see the interaction of mind and body as we notice the breath and as we notice thoughts and emotions passing through awareness. The breath may fluctuate, change. Just being curious about the breath and its interaction with the mind and the body. If the mind is really busy, just allow thoughts to kind of flow through the background and just noticing how the breath responds to that. And if the mind is really busy, we can lower, if the eyes are closed, just looking down a little bit towards the nose and help calm the nervous system. If we're sleepy, we can actually, with the eyes closed, look a bit above horizon line. So we're looking up slightly, and this will stimulate the nervous system a little bit. So we have this simple method of raising or lowering the eyes. When we raise them, we bring energy in, antidote to sleepiness, dullness, drowsiness. If we're agitated, energized, we can look down towards the nose a bit, and this will soothe the thoughts a bit. So often it's useful to look down towards the nose at the beginning of our practice, since agitation is usually more active at the beginning, and as we move into more and more quietude, sometimes we need a little more energy. And looking up can rebalance that. Continuing to just be with the breath. Noticing the intensity, the length, the depth, the shallowness, whatever the breath is like. Just being curious. If you'd like to focus the attention a little bit, sometimes it's challenging to be with the breath in the whole body, you can locate the experience of the breath at the belly, the chest, or the nose. And just observing the quality of the breath, the length, the depth. Comparing the length of the in-breath, the length of the out-breath. Just being acutely curious about this experience of the breath. Maintaining clarity and continuity of attention helps to reduce mind wandering. Just pausing for a moment now and just checking into the body and noticing any areas of tension, contraction, tightness, discomfort, maybe around the forehead and the eyes, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, inviting the whole face, jaw, neck, and shoulders to soften and rest. The neck, the shoulders, the arms, and hands to soften and rest. Find the shoulders, the back, and the hips to soften, soothe, and rest. And the shoulders, the chest, the ribs, the abdomen, soften, soothe, and rest. And just returning the attention back to the breath in the upper body, or you can notice just the belly, the chest, or the nose, being with that sensation of the breath, all the way in, all the way out. And if you'd like, you can do counting. It's not necessary, but as we've done in previous weeks, at the end of the in-breath, you can silently count 1. At the end of the out-breath, you can count 2. The next round is 1, 2, 1, 2. And you can do that for as many rounds as you would like until the mind feels stable. Just return to being with the sensation of the breath in the body. Counting is an aid to help stabilize attention.
Ron, I'm doing okay. Well, I've written most of the Christmas cards. Some of them will arrive after Christmas.
Hey, Judy, can you mute? Thank you. And just being with the breath. And now just noticing as you're being with the breath, awareness of the breath. Looking at awareness itself now, just noticing that which is awake and aware of this sensation, this experience of breath. What is this wakefulness that is seeing this experience and just resting in this wakefulness? And when we do this, the breath kind of drops away from being an object of attention, and it just becomes one of many sensations that are arising within awareness, including thoughts, emotions, other body sensations. So just resting in awareness, we become a spectator in our own experience of mind and body, with no need to change anything, no need to grab onto the pleasant and accentuate it, no need to push away the unpleasant. We're just meeting our experience with openness, equanimity, allowing experience to just flow through us unimpeded. As we observe the dance of mind and body. Just resting in this open, spacious awareness of our moment by moment experience of mind and body. Just resting. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no problems to solve in this moment. Now just pausing as we move into the next practice, and just in the tradition of the Buddhist practice, we dedicate any benefit that we may have experienced from our practice. We've just completed. We extend that benefit to ourselves and to all beings, that we might be a healing force in our life and in our relationships. And I'll shift into our loving kindness practice. I'll start with a short poem by Donna Falls and then a short reading from our book, and then we'll move into the formal practice. This is by Donna Falls, called Walking Slowly. It starts, it only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, and makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, and that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget and catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. So, the little reading from our book, Essential Spirituality, and exercise 18, loving kindness meditation. It says, the Buddha realized that fear and love displace each other, and that if the mind is filled with love, fear is swept away. We all know from pain, personal experience, that fear can overwhelm love. What is not so well known is that when love has been practiced and strengthened, it can overwhelm fear. In the words of the Christian Bible, perfect love casts out fear. Gentle yet powerful, the loving kindness meditation taught by the Buddha has flourished for 2,500 years and has helped countless millions of people. Like many profound techniques, it's deceptively simple. It consists of the repetition of short phrases designed to evoke emotional qualities such as happiness, peace, gentleness, and of course, love. But there's a word of caution about this meditation. All exercises in this book were chosen because they are easy and can produce significant benefits relatively quickly, often even the first time that they're done. While the loving kindness meditation may be helpful the first time, many people find it takes considerable practice. The meditation begins in a way that surprises many people by cultivating loving feelings towards themselves. This is not a recipe for selfishness, but rather for selflessness, since the ego and selfishness thrive on fear, but dissolve in love. In addition, the meditation gradually extends its scope to encompass friends, strangers, enemies, and ultimately all people and all life. Some people feel uncomfortable starting with themselves and prefer to begin by focusing on someone who's been kind or helpful to them. That's a fine way to start, but including yourself is an important stage in this practice. And that's where we'll begin tonight. So if you want to close your eyes again, settle in to your chair, moving into the next practice. And there's 4 qualities that we'll be looking at tonight. Equanimity, cultivating loving kindness, cultivating compassion, and cultivating joy. And I will just walk through, there's 4 phrases in each one of these. So 16 phrases in total. And we'll see where we're at. We may go through them one more time. So just settling in and feeling into the body, noticing the breath in the upper body again. And just connecting with the heart. And if you'd like, bring in into your mind's eye and into that feeling in the heart, someone that you care deeply for, to kind of be able to tune in to that quality of loving kindness. Someone that you admire, someone who's been a benefactor to you, a teacher, a guide in your life. Could be a family member or a friend, a teacher from long ago, a historic teacher. And just taking in their love and their support and their guidance. Feeling safe in their presence, supported, cared for. And just sending gratitude to them, thanking them for being in your life. wishing them happiness and well-being. From this place of open-heartedness, now we'll move into the practice of sending loving kindness towards ourselves. We'll begin with equanimity. May I be free from preference and prejudice. May I know things just as they are. May I experience the world knowing me just as I am. May I see into whatever arises. I'll repeat that again. May I be free from preference and prejudice. May I know things just as they are. May I experience the world knowing me just as I am. May I see into whatever arises. And moving to loving kindness now. May I be happy, well, and at peace. May I open to things just as they are. May I experience the world open to me just as I am. May I welcome whatever arises. I'll repeat one more time. May I be happy, well, and at peace. May I open to things just as they are. May I experience the world open to me just as I am. May I welcome whatever arises. Moving to compassion. May I be free of suffering, harm, and disturbance. May I accept things just as they are. May I experience the world accepting me just as I am. May I serve whatever arises. May I serve whatever arises. And then moving to joy. May I enjoy the activities of life itself. May I enjoy things just as they are. May I experience the world taking joy in all that I do. May I know what to do, whatever arises. May I enjoy the activities of life itself. May I enjoy things just as they are. May I experience the world taking joy in all that I do. May I know what to do, whatever arises. And then we'll just briefly do a little loving kindness for all beings. May all beings be happy, well, and at peace. May all beings open to things just as they are. May all beings experience the world opening to them just as they are. May all beings welcome whatever arises. In compassion, may all beings be free of suffering, harm, and disturbance. May all beings accept things just as they are. May all beings experience the world accepting themselves just as they are. May all beings serve whatever arises. And finally, joy. May all beings enjoy the activities of their life. May all beings enjoy things just as they are. May all beings experience the world taking joy in all that they are. May all beings know what to do, whatever arises. May I be happy, coming back to ourselves. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy and joyful in this moment. May I be healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit. May I know inner peace and peace in all my relationships. May I be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May I live with ease. May I be happy and joyful in this moment. May I be healthy in mind, healthy in body, healthy in spirit. May I know inner peace and peace in all my relationships. May I be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May I live with ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering and live with ease. And bring the attention back into the body, into the chest and the belly. And just being with the breath for a couple minutes here. Taking in these words that we've heard. And really coming to recognize that the overlay of the judgmental mind that arises out of a separate sense of self is very limited and not a reflection of our true nature, which is limitless, luminous, perfected, at its core resting in a quality of luminous unconditional love. But it's been covered over by thoughts and emotions that tell us we're limited. These are false, inaccurate, and can be let go of. With time, as we dive deeper into our true nature, this unconditioned, loving self, the mask, the persona that we've created in this lifetime begins to fade and dissolve. It holds no truth anymore about our true nature. So just opening to your unlimited, luminous, loving self, which has no center and no periphery, as the ancient contemplatives say. We're just awake and aware. This awareness has no beginning, no end. It's the truth of what we are. It's pure, open, luminous, spacious awareness. Just dropping the breath into the belly now. Feeling the abdomen rise and fall. Dropping the attention down through the hips and the thighs, the knees, down into the feet. Wiggling the toes a bit. Feeling the feet grounded on the earth. Feeling the body stable and strong like a mountain on the earth. Wiggling the fingers a bit. Open the eyes if you've had them closed. And this kind of maintain what I call peripheral awareness as we open the eyes, not tuning in too quickly to objects, but kind of having that peripheral vision where we're taking in the space of the whole room. The sense of the separate self is not immediately arising. You're just resting in that spaciousness. That concludes our practice and our session for the evening. If anyone has any questions, I take those now, and if not, we'll conclude with a couple slides, and I wish you all a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you in the new year. But before you go, if there's questions, if not, we'll move into our closing slides. Well, thank you all for coming. And Deborah, if you would like to give you a moment to tune into the slides, and we'll close with a few announcements. So to help us continue our voice, we welcome your donations. At UUCC, our Living from the Heart programs are transforming lives, we hope. They're offering mindfulness, renewal retreats, and connection to anyone who needs it. These programs are free to attend because we believe that everyone deserves access to tools for well-being and community. But providing these isn't free, and your generosity helps cover the costs, ensures us to continue to spread love and justice in our community and beyond. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Together, we can create a more compassionate world. And you can visit the tinyurl.com/donate to UCC. And when we do our follow-up emails to all these sessions with the recording of this meditation, you'll also have a link there that you're welcome to click on, and you can make donations there as well. upcoming events. We have a candlelight Christmas Eve service that will be at 5 p.m. at our Portage UUCC at 10441 Shaver Road. Visit our website if you'd like at UUCC Portage. If you Google that, it will come up. We'll also have a service on the 29th at 10 a.m., our normal service. And it will be a Burning Bowl New Year's service. And this is an opportunity to write down things that you want to let go of from the past year. And we actually write these on a physical piece of paper and burn them so that they can be let go of. And then a Thoughtful Thursday that we have coming up. Again, you can go to our website and you can probably see this up on the banner and register there. Changing the World One Song at a Time with Sue Riley. And that will be on a Thursday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. Getting details, uucommunitychurch.org. Is that all of our slides? And our next session, is it that far away? Wow. January 13 at 7 p.m. So we'll see you in the new year. Thank you everyone for coming, and we'll get something out. I'll send this loving kindness practice that I worked with tonight with a little bit of commentary with it, and enjoy your holiday. Bye-bye.